Hi everyone, Mrs. Olson here. From this point on in the semester, we will be learning about one of the greatest divisions in U.S. history, and that is the Civil War. Before we get to studying the conflict, we have to understand what led up to the war. So to start, you will be reading about several events that preceded or came before the war. And so I'm going to click into this first part here, slavery and westward expansion. And it says that the learning target is for you to understand how continuing disagreements over the westward expansion of slavery increased sectional tensions. So sectional is going to be the North and then the South. Sectional tensions between the North and the South. So the first document is called Slavery and Westward Expansion, and I want to highlight a few things in here, okay? The first part of the document, you really need to understand the term popular sovereignty. So popular sovereignty refers to the idea that the further west that we went, that area became different territories. And what the Senate decided to do was to allow those territories to choose whether or not they would be slave states, okay? So this is the idea that popular vote gets to decide whether or not the territories are going to be slave states or free states, okay? Now, we also want to understand what is driving people to go out west, and part of that has to do with getting rich. Always follow the money. So people are going out to California because in 1849, the gold rush happened. And so you're going to read about people going out to California. This next part is the debate begins, and of course this is highlighted, this word secession. You should be able to know and understand the definition of secession throughout the entire Civil War unit, okay? So secession is going to refer to the southern states, all of the South, breaking away from the North, and the North is considered the Union. So secede, to break away. Okay. This next part is a law, the Fugitive Slave Act, and this refers to Northerners having to participate in a law that they don't necessarily agree with. Okay. That leads us to the Underground Railroad. I'm hoping that many of you have had experience learning about the Underground Railroad, perhaps in elementary school or even through some movies and popular culture type of things. And continuing here, I'm going to end with a book called Uncle Tom's Cabin. Sometimes, like in English classes, when you get maybe a little bit older, it's a novel that you have to read. It's part of the curriculum. Sometimes, sometimes not. Anyways, Uncle Tom's Cabin was actually written by a white woman in the 1800s, and it was a way for her to be able to get the word out about what was happening with slavery and the fugitive slave law. So you're going to read more details about that. And then I end here with a map that shows you free states, slave states, routes of the Underground Railroad. Okay? So the assignment that is attached to this reading is lesson questions that go over the couple of pages that you are assigned here. All right, guys, this is an important topic to understand. Remember that you are reading this document because it helps to set the stage for the next part, which is the Civil War. Bye, guys.